I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown B qualifier game now. It's Jim Nix with Sam Steep on fellow microphone and Connor and Cailey looking after production and cameras. Looking for a really good game here, Sam. I think these are two top-notch teams.
Yeah, this should be an incredible game. John Epping coming off of a loss in the A final, qualifier final.
Yeah,
over Mike McEwen.
Yeah, both A qualifiers are great games, different games. Certainly, first one was a squeaker, and it was second one ended up being a squeaker, and as Rylan Kleider had to fight his way back against Matt Dunstone. So Gushue's on a bit of a streak here. He did lose his first game in this event and has won out since then. And as you said, Epping won his first couple and then lost just earlier today. Both teams, neither team afraid to play, that's for sure.
Yeah, this should be a great B final.
Both skips known for being able to make the big shot. So we'll see how we get along here. I haven't got the cleanest of screens on my end, but we'll go with it. So Gushue with hammer here in the first end. Very nice shot there. Tanner Horgan.
Yeah, good sweeping. Really big game, obviously. No one wants to drop down to the sea. If you win this game, you get tonight off, get to go to bed early and rest up for playoffs. Obviously, both teams wanting to do that. Our other B final, Team Cooey versus Team Kleider. Kleider just losing the A final and having to play back-to-back. And Cooey on a roll with 3 wins in a row.
Yeah, Cooey's had that kind of year that he might not have had very many 3-game winning streaks, and no offense to it, but that's just reality. He's just really struggled at almost every event and then made some lineup changes and things like that. So,
yeah, they had a slow start to their year, made a lineup change, and it didn't quite click right away. I'm assuming they're hoping this event changes that going into the new year.
yeah, it'd be a good way to finish with a qualifying round at least and go into the break with a little bit of a feel-good mood.
Yeah, and our other B final, Team Pierce versus Team Jacobs. 3 B finals on the ice right now.
Jacobs coming off an 11-2 loss earlier. It was that he's probably still feeling the pain over, so he'll be ready to go.
The other sheet you see on the screen is the C quarterfinal, Team Moonybrook versus Team Charlie Thomas.
Trying to carve this one in. Will they get it there? They might have got it just far enough to be shot rock, I think. Maybe not. No, it looks like maybe Red's still shot there.
Yeah, a little bit of the first miss of the game here For Team Epping, we know if you slightly overthrow, the rocks do run quite a bit straighter. Very weight-sensitive ice.
Yeah, the teams do such a good job of matching that up. It's like, as great as the ice is for myself or guys like me now, they're well past their real competitive days, go out on this. It's really hard to match up the weight for the ice, and these guys have it figured out right from the get-go. Brendan Botcher now with his second stone here in the first end. Brendan, the newest member of the team Gushue. Been there a little while now, though. It's not new anymore. They've had quite a bit of time to get used to each other.
Yeah, they've played quite a bit since the pickup. I think this is their fourth event together with Brendan Botcher. Haven't quite clicked maybe as much as what Brad Gushue would want, as clearly he was the number one team in Canada, still ranked the number one team in Canada.
Yeah, world ranking slipped back a little bit, but still a team that most teams wouldn't want to have to play to win against, that's for sure.
Yeah, and a pretty good hit for Brendan. Does leave a pretty big pocket, but Gushue having hammer. They don't seem too stressed about the situation they're in yet.
Epping looking at all the options here. So the younger Horgan brother, Jake, now playing third for Team Epping, will get ready to throw his first one. Can't really do much with the Reds that are 1 and 2 in the house, so he's going to play the out-turn draw into that kind of pocket, which should take away the Reds.
Yeah, depending where you put it, Team Gushue will be able to slash the red in the top four into the pocket of the forefoot. So very particular position here. They need to be pretty much frozen to the red in the back four would be pretty good.
Weight looks pretty good. Sweeper's on it now. May have waited just a little long. I guess it was never going to get there. In a good position, but that's about all, really. Mark Nichols will now survey what he'd like, or Brad Gushue will survey what he'd like Mark Nichols to do. Kind of hate to leave that yellow one there if you're Gushue, but you might not really have a choice.
Yeah, you really do have no choice. You have a chance to draw and sit 3 here. Obviously, that yellow is in the control zone, is what I call it, in that top 12 foot and very easily raisable, but really no point in hitting it right now.
So Nichols being asked to come in right on top of the red. Maybe just curl by it a little bit. Sit 3. Needs to curl quite a bit, though. Botcher trying to carve it over. Might not quite get there, but still just sitting 2. Jake Horgan, recognizing the importance of the situation right now, decides to go down and have a look close up. Probably a possibility of getting rid of the 2 reds in the 4-foot area by hitting the other red into it. And here may not be a good result when it's done. But I think both reds go fairly easily. It's just you're going to leave the object stone that you're going to hit is going to stay there. But that might be better than what you have right now. So Epping's going to ask Jake Horgan to throw a takeout here. A full weight takeout, obviously, with virtually no ice. That's pretty much exactly where he wants to hit it, where the broom is.
Yeah, you could get rid of all three reds. I think the red running in could spin out of the 4-foot, but it can throw a very fast rock. So imagine this is going to be humming.
Yeah, I think you're right. Here it comes, Jake Horgan to release. It's a handle. Should be close. It'll be real close. There it goes. The other red goes out to be number 3. So a great shot by Jake Horgan here in end number 1. Still some stuff for Gushue to work with, but I'll tell you what, if you're John Epping, you got to be pretty happy with the result here. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, great shot. Just off nose. All three reds, like I said. Spins it out just enough to sit third stone. And there's no double available for Team Gushue.
Well, does that ever change it around, though? Mark Nichols throwing some weight at this one.
Yeah, looking to open up the middle, making sure you can score. Trying to make a double and sit. Second, third, fourth, and doesn't quite make it.
No, it didn't really change much, does he, with that shot?
No, and a really good opportunity for Team Epping to draw the top 4-foot and put pressure on Team Gushue early.
Yeah, that's certainly different than we would have thought just less than 5 minutes ago. It looked like Epping was going to be struggling to get out of this end without a bunch scored against him.
Yeah, really clutch shot from Jake Horgan. Gives John now an opportunity to draw the top 4-foot behind 2 center guards.
Looks pretty good. Might be a little deep. Got to curve it over there a little bit. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, pretty good result. They would have obviously liked that a foot higher and then 2 inches to the right to be really nitpicky, but still a very difficult shot for Brad Gushue, needing to play back 4 weight and tap this stone a couple of inches and stay on the nose.
Gushue asking for a little ice from Mark Nichols. A little less ice from Mark Nichols. I don't know if he moved it. He must have, but I thought maybe he just moved his body over a little couple inches and that made it look right. I don't know. Gushue looking to come down. Just bump this one a little bit. Be shot rock.
Yeah, this can easily be overthrown with how straight the ice is getting. Really weight sensitive shot, and this is way out there right now.
I would like to get a little bit more curl than that, but not bad.
He wasn't far off weight wise, just a little bit too much line.
Yeah.
An interesting situation for Epping. Do you play the hit and roll and sit 2 buried but jam on the yellow in the back 8? Or do you nose it and sit 4 and Gushue will have to make a pretty tough draw or a hit and roll for 1?
I'd be leaning to popping it through that hole and sitting 4 myself. I just figure if you try to get the roll and you you jam it on the yellow and you don't quite get over far enough, all of a sudden maybe Gushue has a double for 2.
Yeah, that'd be tough, but it's definitely there. I think the nose is perfect as well because then the team Gushue won't be able to nose it back. They'll give up 1 if they do.
Yeah, he'll have to play the double basically. So anyway, we could play the quad maybe for whatever that is, but anyway, let's wait and see. But
John Epping's last rock here in the first, looking to put a ton of pressure on Gushue early. Nose or just off nose.
I'm going hard to make this one curl. Right out of the gate almost. This looks... It's going to get one or the other, or maybe a combination of... See where it goes. Excuse me, it might have got away from it, but that was the fear for me, was that you could possibly set up a double here. I don't know if Brad can get quite enough of it. If he could get to the nose of it, he could actually make a triple here for many.
Yeah, but it is about a quarter buried.
Yeah.
Most likely playing the hack weight double for most likely 1. That yellow probably jams on the outside yellow. Pretty tough to make it for 2. It might be there, but these aren't Grand Slam rocks. They certainly aren't as quite as lively. So pretty difficult shot. Needs to make the double for 1 at least.
Brad Gushue, last rock here in the first end, facing 2 yellows. Having to make a good shot to score, or a great shot for more than 1. Looks like he's a little tight to that guard. Snuck it by again. Yeah, actually, he curled too much.
Yeah, it over curls, and it's going to be a steal of 1 for John Epping here in the first end.
Yeah, that's hard to believe you ever hit that. We didn't think you could see enough of that to make the double, and he actually curled past it. So John Epping will take a 1-0 lead here after 1 end of play in this B qualifier at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. We'll be right back.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Stronger agronomics. Better returns. Greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you.
We're back for end number 2. The wild and woolly first end, Sam.
Yeah, lots of rocks in play, lots of great shot making by both teams, and Brad Gushue's rock over curling on him on his last and gives up a steal of 1 to Team Epping in the first end.
So as we said at the start of the game, neither of these teams are afraid to play with rocks in play, and they sure showed that in the first end. So it was there was a lot going on. Looked for a little while like Epping was in big trouble, and then got turned around a little bit. And Gushue was throwing against 3 on his last one.
Pretty good start for Team Epping as Jeff Walker gets ready to throw his rock here. I imagine Gushue obviously wanting to score on this even end. I know it's only the second, but never too early to think about it as they just get by that center guard.
Yeah. Stays a quarter or so buried maybe, and Epping will look for a roll to the corner. Tanner Horgan now. Tanner had a good game earlier today. He was just on all the real delicate shots. He seemed to be just that 6-8 feet light all the time. So hack weights turned into back 12s and board weights into hack weights. But for the most part, it worked out quite nicely for him. He had pretty good touch. Get a little cool to the corner, and they will make that. Not quite, but pretty good effort. Tanner Horgan.
Yeah, both teams trading hit and rolls. Whoever gets buried first will take the advantage in this end.
Brendan Botcher. No turn, hit, and roll. These are the kinds of shots they got him for, so expect Brendan to be really close on this. Mark Nichols on a little bit. Jeff Walker will take the roll, but I think it's going to roll. Oh, you're going to try to roll it all the way over. Gushue jumping on that. Tanner Horgan once again.
Yeah, like I said before, first team to make perfect rolls is going to have an advantage here. Those guards being in the mid guard zone, 2 to 3 guard zone.
So Gushue, after taking the play away from the center, that's why he swept that one over so far, just kind of to get it out of the way, knowing pretty well that he was going to throw the draw around the corner on this shot. Jeff Walker now trying to move that one over. Probably get it over there. Most of the rocks going around the corner guards get fully buried. It's just a matter if the corner guard's too long or not.
Yeah, it's just the curl of the wings are a little bit straighter today. And Epping this morning made a lot of these backline hack weight hits around corner guards. See if they can continue to do so.
Yeah, they really did. I did that game. You and I did that game, and it seemed like they had no trouble. It didn't matter what they did; they could get to it. And get to it solid, like half a rock sort of thing. So moving down into the third stones, Jake Horgan here, his first in the second end.
Yeah, Jake making the end switch around in the first, pretty much making a triple, making a double, and spinning the other red out far enough. Was a end changing shot, so let's see if he can continue to do so.
Yeah, great shot. Chasing this one out the back here, He'll get over just from the rocks in. It just goes so sideways that you can basically stay on everything. Will he get it out? He did. Not by much, but that's good enough.
Yeah, it was just enough weight to make it. And that's what this team Epping did so well this morning. Though they lost, they threw those backline hack waiters just the perfect weight, except for like one or two shows where they didn't quite eliminate them.
It's Brad Gushue playing the shot that they might be the only team in the country that would play this shot right now, with the rock on the opposition rock in the middle of the sheet and one in the corner, and they're going to go around the corner guard to ignore both of those. Looks pretty good. Nicely done by Mark Nichols. Still the same amount showing as the last shot, so certainly that Team Epping can get to it. And if they do and roll to a similar area, you can sure that Gushue will have to play ahead after this one. Jake Horgan, almost the identical shot he just had. Other Tanner just keeping a little bit clean. Ian McMillan carving it in. Got to go a little harder. Don't know if they'll get that one out, and they will not.
Yeah, mission accomplished. Though they're sitting three. No triple. Could make the hit and freeze. They're not out of the woods yet, but it'll be pretty tough to get that red into play from multiple points.
Yeah, quite possible. Mark Nichols with his second here in the second. Just clean. Now Brendan getting on it. He needs to roll a little bit. Nicely done.
It doesn't quite roll to perfection, but it is pretty much 3/4 buried behind that high center guard. Now John has to make a decision whether to make a hack weight hit and roll or to just draw. They are currently sitting second, third.
And Epping is going to chase this one on the out turn. There's all kinds of room. Probably could curl and miss it on the inside if you underthrew it too much. Neither sweeper doing a lot here, just kind of keeping themselves ready.
Yeah, needing this to curl. Wants to stay where there's no triple. It's awfully close to being there. Not quite, though.
No. Yeah, probably would have liked to have gotten just a little bit more of an inside roll for Epping. Not much, maybe, but a little bit just to make this a little tougher. But Brad's probably going to be drawing no matter what you do.
Yeah, it's either play the hack weight just off nose and plant your shooter right there, and Epping will probably just play a pick, or draw frozen.
Yeah.
And that's the call they're making, is the freeze. It's a good call because if you make it perfect, it's very Team Epping needs to be very careful because they could leave a triple for 2 or 3.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be really careful of that. So I say that little rock that's out there in the 12 that we figured wasn't going to ever come into play just still might. Gushue with the outturn. Called a draw. Might be a little bit of a tap, but it's pretty much draw weight. You want to get it there. Jeff Walker on it pretty hard. He'll get it there. It's a pretty good freeze. Now, who shot rock?
Yeah, it's an okay outcome, but it does look like Team Epping is still shot.
Yeah, you're right.
And actually, the angle, they might not have even have left the triple. That's what they were trying to set up, was the triple for 2 or 3. Didn't quite curl up enough for Team Gushue, and advantage Team Epping still.
So John Epping looking to put this one on a little bit on the inside of the red, top of the 4-foot. Just trying to prevent a deuce than he is trying to score here. He does have shot rock, but
yeah, even if you put this fully, if it overcurls and it's full top 4, I don't see a shot Gushue would have for multiple. This goal, the plan of this shot is to really shrink that scoring area. A chance for John to put some more pressure on Team Gushue.
They're working pretty hard on this. That's probably pretty good.
Yeah, great sweeping to even get as far as it did. Probably leaves a T-line tap for 2, maybe. You'd have to be perfect. Basically just miss that center guard and tap that yellow 1.5 inches for 2.
Looks like he's probably playing that, because I suspect if he was just playing the straight draw, he'd take a little bit more ice than that. Just to give himself a little bit of room, but
yeah, another weight sensitive shot. If you overthrow this by 2 feet, it's not going to curl enough. Obviously, Brad's been known for his draws to the 4-foot for so long. Another opportunity here. Tough shot, but it is for 2 when we.
yeah, Gushue with a little tap for 2. Here and in number 2. Final rock. Jeff Walker on it right away. Gonna be close, I would think.
Yeah,
they're trying to carve it over. Will he get it there, though? I don't.
They jumped the line.
Just barely touched.
They jumped the line early and held it straight, and it's still a steal of 1 for Team Epping to take a 2-0 lead after 2 ends.
So we'll be back right after the break.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
Hey, Ben.
So we're back. Gushue has had hammer since the start, but has yet to score.
And Jeff Walker leaving that his first guard a little bit higher than he would want anyways.
So leading in McMillan for Team Epping. Moving his second stone here in the third end rather. Coming around the rock in the 12-foot. Well done. Gushue might ignore those. Go to the second corner guard, then recognizing the top one is too long really to be effective.
Yeah, being down 2 after 2, probably looking to be a little bit more aggressive now. There's been rocks in play, just haven't quite executed the way Team Brad Gushue normally does anyways.
Yeah, it hasn't been for a lack of effort in putting rocks in play. This one's really light as well. So Jeff Walker will not be happy, and neither will Brad Gushue with either one of those. The first one you say, okay, you're there. Now the second one, you've got to throw it onto the Brandwood logo there, or Brandworks logo there, and it's did not come close to really getting to where Brad wanted it. Tanner Horgan. Gushue's probably got to run something here, I think, and just...
Yeah, they need to, with those 2 corner guards being as high as they are, and pretty much center guards at this point. A little bit of trouble here for Gushue early. Going to need to make a run back. It's been all Team Epping so far this game.
Brennan Botcher looking to move a couple here. Jeff Walker working on the curl. He's going to come up. Should be able to make some contact with the back, and he won't, and he'll leave the center guard. So all around, it's going to be leaving Brad Gushue shaking his head back there, I'm sure. Can't see it. I'm just suggesting that he might be.
it's definitely as a skip, your team's not performing as they normally do. Sometimes it gets a little frustrating. They're some of the best curlers in the world that are throwing in front of you, and that they'll make the adjustment, but they need to make it sooner than later, or they're going to be falling even farther behind as Tanner gets ready to throw this one guard.
And we'll get it over. This end is getting very, very messy for Gushue.
Oh, pretty much a perfect guard from Tanner. Those one guards can be very difficult and very easily overthrown because you don't want to hog it. And no mistake.
So an opportunity, though, for Botcher. If he can make a really good double run here, he actually might be able to make a double run double or something close to that.
Yeah, obviously it gets harder the more rocks you add in, but this is a little bit deeper, and just a single peel for Brendan Botcher. Brendan and Rachel Holman recently qualified for the Olympic mixed doubles trials that will be happening over the Christmas break. Probably flying over right after Christmas, flying over, get a practice in before it starts.
So Jake Horgan now will be asked to throw another guard. John Epping's got to be thinking, how is this possible? I've got a 2-0 lead. I haven't had hammer, and all I'm doing here is throwing a guard like way out by the hog line practically.
Probably feeling pretty comfortable right now. His team firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, Mark Nichols looking at, and Brad both looking at whether or not to continue trying to run this one back, or do they try to get rid of all these rocks at the top.
They need to open a draw path. Right now, Brad Gushue does not have a shot for one.
I think the Reds are, if the Reds were reversed, I think you could possibly play off the yellow on the red and get the red rock spinning towards the house, which anything better than what you have would be good, but I don't think that can happen now, so I don't know if the second red goes anywhere. Probably does. Mark can throw it as hard as anybody.
Yep, just a couple of questions in the chat. Any news on where we can watch the trials? It will be on Curling Canada's YouTube channel. Which is exciting for younger audiences. YouTube is where it's at right now. Most TVs have a YouTube app, and it's free to watch. It's pretty awesome. I think Curling Canada made a good decision to stream it on YouTube. I do know that curling has an older audience, but they all have children and grandchildren that can teach them how to use the YouTube app. I know I had to teach my parents how to use it.
Mark Nichols now. The peel attempt. We'll get rid of one extra rock, but again, not sure that's really what they wanted. Mark didn't look terribly excited about it.
No, it's basically a single peel. Now, other than Epping throwing a one guard, they get to throw a three guard, which is arguably easier. shot. So they're still in a lot of trouble here. Team Gushue fans getting a little nervous right now, I assume.
Jake Horgan has to throw a guard again, a little bit deeper this time, somewhere around the logo that's there. Just hold the line, make sure the line's good.
Yeah, they will. Team Epping's job here, continue to put as much pressure as possible on Brad. This one running maybe a little deeper than they want. Asking Tanner to carve this. Don't want to bounce off.
Yeah, not a good shot.
Yeah, Jake visibly upset about that. He knew he let Team Gushue off the hook.
Yeah, you've given Gushue an escape. Definitely.
It's
not 100% an escape yet, but escape.
No, it looks a little bit easier now. Gushue, they'll have to make a double, whether they decide they want to make the run double or just the nose double on the rock in the 12-foot. It'll still be, no matter what they decide, Epping will still be sitting one in the top 12 and probably will be able to draw the top 4 foot. So not out of the woods yet for Team Gushue.
Yeah, I think if you hit this on the nose and make the double, I don't know if Epping will leave it there. That's the thing. But let's see. Jeff Walker trying to hold it straight. This one's over curling a bit. That's not going to be great either.
Yeah, that's disaster for Team Gushue. That was a big opportunity to kind of get out of this end.
Yeah.
And just missing narrow from Mark Nichols.
It's really bad now too, because even, you've got those stagger now on the top. It's even that much harder to get in.
Yeah, there's no draw. If you look on the right side of your right side of the sheet, you can't get to the button.
No, you have to just draw to give up one.
Yeah, right now it's looking like a pretty difficult shot, needing to. That's why Team Epping's discussing what's the best place to put this stone. They're going to call a 3 guard to make sure that there's no run back double to sit second, third. I think is the idea here.
And if you happen to be wondering when you hear Sam say 2 guard, 3 guard, he's referring to the zones in front of the house. Most of you might know that, but some of you might not. So we'll take a minute and explain that in a second, Sam, maybe.
Yeah. So what I mean by 1, 2, 3 guard zone is that the sweepers section off the guard zone area into 3 sections. 1 being just over the hog line, 2 being right in the middle, and 3 being right in front of the rings. It actually goes all the way down to 10. And that's why you might hear when sweepers are calling draws, you might hear 7 or 6 come out of their mouth there, meaning that's the zone that they think the rock is going to end up. Some clubs have that on their ice, in the ice. I've been to a couple clubs that have that, and it's a good training tool for junior teams and young men's and women's teams.
That's neat. I have never seen that. That's interesting. I'm not surprised, though, because you'll see some other things in the ice sometimes in different clubs. Like, maybe if they're little rocks or something, you'll have a house halfway down the sheet and things like that. So that's not a bad idea. So Gushue trying to figure out how to get out of this end, or better yet, trying to figure out how to score. And it's just difficult. Now he's looking at possibly putting a rock around where Mark's broom is and hoping he gets an opportunity to do something there.
Yeah, the idea of that is to be half buried, and Epping won't be able to eliminate it, and you might be able to angle run it in for 1, maybe 2, if Epping misses his guard. And Brad, knowing that, well, we always discuss what's your problem stones? There's about 6 problem stones right now for Gushue, and that's why they can't figure out what shot they want to play.
And these runs are so long. It'd be tough enough if you were trying to do this in make some contact from 3 feet in front of the house. But these things are practically at the hog line. Trying to create something for his next shot. Which one does he decide he's going to play? Going to play the... I don't know. We'll wait a minute for Mark to settle into where he's going to stand, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, if this angle run is made perfectly, could sit second, third after this. Certainly get rid of the stagger in the top 12. Obviously a very difficult shot.
Brad Gushue attempting to run this center red one. Kind of into the pile. It's got to curl a little bit more. Well, you might get lucky here.
That's just not luck. That was a great shot. I think they lined that up.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, they were calling sweep the whole way, so they wanted to hit it as thin as they did. So watch the replay. Right where the broom is where they wanted to hit it. Got rid of 3 guards. As you can see, this red getting angled into the yellow and onto the staggered. And now they're sitting second.
Yeah, second with a bit of an opening for now, at least.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit unlucky. Their red didn't pop out as much, and they can't really use it. It leaves a stagger. They can't really tap that red in the top 12 into shot stone. So John could draw into the top 4 foot if he wanted to, top 8 foot. John, knowing who he's playing and knows that Brad Gushue can make angle runs, being very precise of where they want this rock to stop.
So lengthy discussion here for Team Epping. I think it's got to be a little tempting to come just right around that.
I'd be pretty tempted to put it right in the biting top 4 foot buried.
Yeah.
I mean, they're worried about if you leave it full top 8 foot, you could leave an easy slash for 1. If you're right to it, I just don't see that being a problem at all. Just full 4 foot corner frozen. You're going to make the draw to the button pretty difficult for Brad Gushue.
So I'm not sure. There we go. I'm not sure. I think they've settled on the draw right around. Yep. I guess, yeah.
Yep. This is made. Brad's going to have to draw the button against 2.
Well, at least he'll be able to do that, where before the previous shot, he wouldn't have been able to get anywhere near there.
Yeah, he made an incredible first stone just to have that option. Still a good chance for John to make a good one here. Can't miss heavy is the only bad miss here.
Doesn't appear he's going to be heavy. Sweepers were working it a bit there. I think that's
pretty much perfect. Yep, yeah, pretty much perfect.
So if you Gushue, you're looking at the draw to the button.
Yeah, you have 2 options. So draw the button or you play the hack waiter and give up 1.
Yeah.
And
he's not going to do that.
Yeah, being down 3 is not awesome. Jeff wondering if that red slash is there for 1. But doesn't look like it to me either.
Well, we've certainly seen Brad Gushue make many of these over the years, so he's going to have to pull another one out of his hat here. And
yeah, he's probably thrown about 2.3 million draws to the button in his career.
Yeah.
Needs another one here. Needs at least full 4 foot to only give up 1. Put it right on the pin to get his first point of the game.
So a big shot early in the game here, third end. For Brad Gushue, looking at 2. Need 4 foot for one. 4 foot to give up one and button to score one. Walker and Botcher on the brooms. Just a heavy clean right now, I think, for Walker. Starting to go a little harder now. They need to clear that top one. It's pretty good coming in. Can they get there, though? Will they get there? Jeff Walker gets it. Where is it? And a great draw by Brad Gushue to score one here in the third end. Get this game within 2-1. Going to end number 4. The rest of the team has to thank the skipper of this end. So we'll be back right after the break.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sasktel.com/sponsorships.
So we're back for end number 4, Epping with a 2-1 lead over Gushue, and certainly not a normal 2-1 game. Gushue having to save everything in the last end. We'll give you a look at it here.
Yeah, just a great team shot. Jeff Walker had broom down right out of Gushue's hand. Gushue, after throwing a triple, drawing the pin to keep his team in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. They really didn't do a lot of good that end. Brad made a peel everything shot on his first one to set up any chance of even scoring, which he did by drawing the button. So
yeah, Brad for a couple of years has really been the best skip in Canada by a margin, and making a team change this year. Obviously, Gushue not having the year they normally do. They've normally have won 2 or 3 events by now, but still obviously ranked 3rd in the world. Coming here, looking to get the team dynamics and shot making dialed in before the Brier.
So a couple of nice shots here by Team Epping. I'm really impressed with Epping team. I was impressed this morning, and very impressed with what I've seen so far in the game in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you don't go from 35th in the world to 11th in half a season without playing some great curling. We talked about it this morning. They didn't qualify in the first 2 events of the year, and then go on a great run that they've had, winning a couple of events, and certainly going to be at the Grand Slams.
Yeah, exactly.
one team trending upwards in John Epping and another team in Brad Gushue trying to figure out the new team dynamics and maybe a little bit trending downwards. So obviously as a Canadian fan, we want both teams to be playing at their best when it comes to the Brier.
Yeah.
Obviously, John Epping looking to win the Northern Ontario Provincial to qualify, and Brad Gushue being Team Canada this year.
So a draw here for Gushue. Brendan Botcher just about got to where they wanted. Maybe had to curl a little tiny bit more, and Tanner Horgan will be asked to remove that. Remove it and flop a little bit inside. And if he does, Gushue will be in trouble once again.
Yeah, sitting 3 buried would be a great opportunity for Epping here. This needs to curl quite a bit, though. And it does perfectly. Well done by Tanner.
A great shot by Tanner Horgan. And now Brad without hammer. See that one again. That. Jake jumps it.
Yeah, just a great team shot. Both sweepers ready to sweep. And Tanner throwing the perfect weight. I've said it a million times already. If you overthrow that, the rock runs so much straighter. Well executed.
Gushue trying to get one in the pile there. Basically, at this point, trying to make sure he's got something to work with.
Yeah, looking to tap this yellow to the back 4 foot. Basically trying to generate a steal here. Steal 1 in the 4th, and the momentum could swing. Not looking good so far, though. This rock needs to curl.
Yeah, Nichols trying to move it over, but it's going to almost get there, but not quite, unfortunately. Not a good result.
Yeah, and then just like I said last end, the Epping front end has been out curling the Gushue front end by a considerable margin so far this game, and that's why John Epping's been sitting 2-3, 1-2-3 in the 4 foot almost every end so far.
Tanner Horgan with his final stone here in the 4th end.
Yeah, big opportunity to put this top 4 foot buried. It's going to be a big sweep to get by that guard.
You're not getting by that one.
No, just a little bit light. Caught the curl a little early. The right tolerance. It's funny how disappointed they could be for missing the right way. At this level, obviously, you don't want to give Team Gushue even a glimmer of a chance. You want to keep the gas pedal down.
Gushue is asking Nichols what he prefers. Do you like the in-turn draw, basically right to the button, or perhaps the hit and roll off the red?
This is a big shot choice here. It's only Mark Nichols' first stone in the end. I don't necessarily think making the in-off is the right choice right now. Though if you leave it, Team Epping might do it on the very next shot.
Yeah, you could get to the red one on the out turn, but you'd only be able to get second shot out of that. So Nichols with a tough shot.
Yeah, looking to draw top 4 foot, about half buried here. Probably is the perfect position for this stone. Looking to change the momentum in this end. He finally got a half shot from Team Epping. Trying to take advantage of it.
Jeff Walker just getting ready more than anything. It's close. Very nicely done by Nichols. He even got shot rock.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Forces Team Epping into the run back.
Yeah.
We were complimenting Team Epping's team shots. This one was well judged. Great line call, good sweeping. Both sweepers stayed close. Knew that it was basically a must make, or they were probably going to give up 2 or 3 this end. Still not out of the woods yet, but it's a good start.
No, definitely not. Just a little straight back run here. Puts them right back into a very bad position, but at least for now.
Yeah, they can't throw weight at this. They're going to have to throw like a board weight run back. They need a little bit of curl after the high center guard.
Jake Horgan.
Opportunity for Jake to keep the pressure on Team Gushue. Hit this right on the nose. Going to be sitting 3 in the forefoot.
This one's curling a little bit. He'll be okay. He will not.
Yeah,
Not
pretty
happy.
disastrous. Pretty disastrous outcome there.
Yeah. So Gushue, all of a sudden, has shot rock on almost on the pinhole, and very difficult task for Epping to do anything about it.
Yeah, not only did you miss the run back, but you also overlapped the 2 center guards, so now you can't even run that yellow back in.
Yeah.
This end is quickly turning around.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Jake making his way down here. He doesn't really want to get to the skipper.
There is the in-off possibility, and Gushue knowing that Jake can throw a 5.5-second peel when needed. Jake could easily in off that red into the button and move all 3 stones that are on the center line.
Hasn't got a lot of other options, though.
No, that's basically a must make if they want to score in this end.
Yeah.
Brad still gets to throw. Team Gushue still gets to throw here. Perfect spot, maybe being the corner freeze on the red.
Yeah, I think if you basically follow that last rock down there,
and smartly enough, they're going to take the in-off away from Jake Horgan. Hit about a half rock roll into the yellow on top of the forefoot, and Team Epping's going to have a hard time scoring.
It's just got to hit something. It does.
Very interested as to why they threw peel weight there. I knew they expected to move both yellows, which they did, but if they just hit and corner froze, I don't know how John Epping was going to score. Now Jake makes a nice backline hack waiter. They're going to open up that button area.
Yeah, and if the second red one, the low red one there, does go through that hole, it's there could be an awful lot of yellows around.
That's true.
Even if the red doesn't go out.
A little bit of a redemption shot here for.
He's throwing some heat at this, so.
I don't hate the call either. That's 2 options. You throw the hack waiter, keep your shooter in front of the red, or throw the peel and try to spin both reds out of the forefoot and open up that scoring area. Team Epping deciding that's the better call.
Yeah, it's interesting. This one you're definitely going to have, Gushue's definitely going to have an opportunity to play the come around, but Jake Horgan.
So a must-make shot here for Jake. Needs to get these rocks off the button. And just like that, John Epping's sitting 2.
Got rid of a yellow, though, so Interesting to see. Gushue's going to come right around. Going to have another look at this.
Yeah, well executed. Just like when I said John Epping or Brad Gushue's thrown 1,000,002 draws to the 4-foot. Jay Corkin's thrown about 3 million peels down the center line. Doesn't make a mistake there. Still not out of the woods yet for Team Epping, but it does look a heck of a lot better than it did.
So Gushue with an opportunity here. Love to be above the tee line here. Buried above the tee line is the plan. Probably top button, top 4, somewhere in that neighborhood. The guards are high enough that you don't have to be back any further than that. Jeff Walker trying to curve this one.
I mean, the higher you are, the easier that red run back is. So they do want it a little deeper, though they went maybe a rock deeper than they wanted. Scoring in this end is very important for Team Epping. Even ends, keep the lead. Giving up a steal would just be a big momentum shift.
So John Epping looking to play the in-turn draw. It's basically a freeze.
Pretty much a must make. Miss this light or heavy, you're going to be... Probably won't have a shot to score. John just threw a draw on his last rock in the third, so should be relatively close. Sweepers are going for line, it looks like, and weight.
He's definitely got enough weight now. Little bump.
It's pretty much perfect.
Yeah, very good shot.
Yeah, no way Team Gushue can be shot. That is a team saver. Both skips coming out with clutch shots when their team missed in front of them. Jake having a whoopsies on the run back, and obviously Gushue's team having a few misses last end.
So Gushue basically just following that down, trying to make sure he keeps the scoring area as small as he can for Epping so he doesn't have an opportunity to get 2.
Yeah, basically trying to shrink the scoring area as much as possible, though it's not going to change Epping's shot. Epping has a draw to the edge of the button for 2. And maybe that's why Brad is thinking about this. This freeze really does nothing other than the easy double tap for 2.
Yeah, he's got to take one side or the other way, and that's... Figures that this is probably perhaps a little safer, just in that if he ever played the out turn and left it out there a little bit, it could be a double for 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you're learning strategy, the easiest thing is you never want to give your opponent the same shot twice. So it's probably what Brad's thinking about is even if this misses as a guard, you're at least making John throw the draw on the opposite side or the in-off if he wanted to.
Looks like they are just playing it as a guide, actually. A guard, rather.
Yeah, they weren't crazy about sweeping that too hard. Well, John has a choice. Draw the edge of the button or make the in-off. Have to throw a lot of weight to make that in-off, I think. The angle is there, though. The draw does look super makeable, but maybe they just don't know that path.
No, I think the draw is a shot that makes more sense to me, but Got to basically make the same draw Gushue made a couple ends ago. Or not a couple ends ago, last end. Horgan brothers discussing it this end. Not 100% sure what they've decided here.
Yeah, the broom is basically in the same spot it would be for the in-off and the draw. My guess is the in-off. Team Epping's been taking a lot less ice, and just the way Jake is cleaning the path. Looks like they're going to play the in-off.
Yeah, I would agree. Really, worst case scenario Epping is a 3-1 lead. Best case 5-1 lead.
Yeah, big extra point here for John Epping as he throws his last in the fourth. Needs about a thick half of this rock.
It's going to be a little bit too thick. So a score 1 for John Epping here in the fourth. He'll take a 3-1 lead to the break here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown at the Swift Current Curling Club, Swift Current, Saskatchewan. We'll be back after the break.
Hey, Ben, what's the Aztec?
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
So 3-1 lead for John Epping over Brad Gushue at the halfway point in this game. Surprised almost, Sam, there's not a bigger score. There's been a whack of rocks in play.
Yeah, both skips coming up clutch when they need to. Obviously, Brad Gushue drawing the pin for his 1 and 3, and John Epping drawing the pin for his 1 in 4. So still advantage Team Epping. Epping looking like the better team in the first 4 ends. Gushue looking to change that here in the last 4.
Couple corner guards up for Gushue. Epping with 2 rocks nicely together here and 4 foot and just above. Throwing a guard. Tanner Horgan with his first rock here in the 5th. Gushue hoping to have a little easier time scoring and maybe even scoring more than one this end than the previous end when he had hammer. Not the 4th, but the 3rd. I'm going to peel the guard. Brendan Botcher. Or just a straight peel here. And he'll make that. John debating whether to peel a corner or to throw the guard back up. Looks like they're going to peel the corner.
Yeah, up to without. You're okay with the blank here. You don't love the scoreboard flipping, but a little too dangerous just to throw a center guard here with the hitting ability of Team Gushue.
This one curl a bit. No. Holy cow. Well, that was very unexpected, very different, and very unfortunate for Team Epping. That's the second rock they had that has been really, really unfortunate. The previous one was much worse, but for that to go ahead and take that one out, not even remove the guard, at the end of the day is.
Yeah, sometimes you have a whoopsies, and that was a whoopsies.
Yeah.
Obviously, Team Epping been dialed pretty much all game. If we're only talking about 2 misses. But now definitely advantage Team Gushue. 2 corner guards and drawing around one of them now.
Well, that's not very good.
Yeah, that make after miss stat comes back, right?
Jake Horgan. Throw some weight here. Must be able to get rid of both going this way. It looks like it'd be harder, but I guess when you hit it that thin, you can get rid of it. Will they get it out? Thinking no.
Oh, they swept that the whole way and ended up hitting it too thin. Another unlucky moment for Team Epping, and that's why Jake Horgan's hand went straight to his head.
I feel like that was an odd way to try to make that, though. I don't know the way the rocks were set up. I don't know why you wouldn't try to peel that the other way.
I think the bonus of that way was if you hit a little thicker, you come across and hit the other corner guard. So either way, you're going to make a double peel. They kind of just got stuck right in between.
Okay. Yes. I don't see that one myself, but that's okay. I'm good with it. Mark Nichols now being asked to go around the corner. This looks pretty good.
Yeah, opportunity for Gushue to sit second, third. One of them will be buried behind a corner. Good shot.
Should be an interesting call. John's had a lot of luck picking these out. So he'll look to do the same with this shot.
Yeah, it's decision time, dude. If you hit the rock in the back 12, it really doesn't help you. You almost have to chase this. Even if you do end up hitting the guard and rolling to the center line, it's an outcome.
Yeah, true enough. My problem with this one is if you make it, if you just, you're probably going to set up some sort of double with the yellows, but can't really help that. You got to chase something. McMillan hard on the broom here. Horgan going to get about a third of a stone.
How's that for a little bit of redemption? It doesn't quite get all the way out.
Well, fortunately, that one in the back, I think, went out. It looks like it. My screen's a little bit fuzzy, so I'll look at the YouTube screen here on the other machine. Looks like a little white there, but it's hard to tell with an overhead camera because it's not giving you straight down all the time.
Yeah, it looks awfully close. I can see a little bit of white on the YouTube stream, but still, if Gushue makes this double, most likely leaving a double opportunity back for Epping.
Yeah. Needs to make this double either way, though.
Yeah, sweeping hard to keep it straight. Looks like it's going to overcurl.
Loses that one and leaves the yellow.
It's been the story of Team Gushue's day so far. They've had a shot to change and end a couple of times this game and hasn't quite executed it yet.
Had almost no ice on that shot and overcurled a little bit. Oh, John Epping just about did a little dive there. John Epping now, looking to remove number 2 stone. And stay, try to force Gushue into 1 here. He's going to roll out, maybe. Nichols get it out. No, he did not get it out. Had everything into it.
Yeah, but it doesn't touch that back red one, and both teams not exactly sure if it's in. That's a big swing point if it is.
It's one of those situations sometimes where the opposition wants to do the measure at the end to see if it's in or out. Of Question here, I guess, being that if you thought it was in, you might play the double here.
Yeah, it's pretty tough double.
No, really tough, yeah.
But, yeah, if it's not in, you're probably just drawing around the corner guard.
That's what I would think, yeah. I definitely don't think they know. Definitely looks out when I look at the other screen that has a little clearer view on it. Our chat members aren't debating it. I thought they might kind of debate if that's in or out a little bit. They get a pretty good view at it on their screens.
Yeah, I see white on the YouTube stream. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, the rock camera isn't right over top of it, so it's going to be hard.
So Gushue with his first stone here in the 5th end. Still trying to find a way to get a couple here. Really trying not to be forced to 1. Really would like to get a 2 at least here.
Yeah, 2 points would change the momentum a little bit, that's for sure.
It's got a long way to curl. And it's got to get there. I don't think they're getting there. They are not. Not really close to the back rock. Brad's not happy. I very often see Gushue come up 6 feet short on a draw that he's trying to get to the back.
Yeah, the very little bit uncharacteristic so far. This game has been a little uncharacteristic, though. Team Epping is putting a ton of pressure on Gushue to make perfect shots.
So John Epping with his final rock here in the 5th will look to remove the Gushue stone. Make sure he doesn't jam it on the back somewhere. Tanner Horgan now. A little dusting. Might roll right behind the corner. And way over there. Doesn't really matter. Gushue will take a cold draw to the 4 foot for 1. Has to hit full 8 foot. Gushue move the brush quite a bit in. Perhaps not quite as confident on the draw weight here as normally he would be.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine you don't want to use the exact same path just because if it overcurls, you give up 1 pretty quickly.
Brad Gushue's final stone in the 5th end. Drawing against, how many? Drawing against 2 or 3 here anyways. But he just needs a full 8 foot. Piece of the 4 foot will do it, obviously. Jeff Walker keeping it clean. Slides in, going maybe right to the back one. No, he's fine. He did use the back one, which I assumed when he was moving it in there, he wasn't quite as confident after coming up a little shorter than he planned on his first one. So Gushue picks up 1 here in 5. Epping still leads 3-2 with hammer as we go to number 6. We will be back here in Swift Current right after the break.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
So we're back here. Jim Nix with Sam Steep here in Swift Current for the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown B qualifying game. Gushue and Epping. Epping leading 3-2 as we move into the final two ends of this one. Potentially the final two ends. Sometimes we like to play an extra one just to give you guys more to watch.
Yeah, it's been a back and forth game. Both teams having some opportunities every end to put more pressure on the other and haven't quite capitalized. Team Epping having the edge in the shooting percentage. And up one with Hammer in the sixth in a very good position to win this game.
So with almost 4,000 people watching this game on the Curling Stadium site, we appreciate you all taking it in. We're looking forward to a great final two ends, and as always, encourage you all to like and subscribe to the channel. It's what makes it work here at Curling Stadium. It enables us to bring you the curling, top-notch curling across the country. It's our pleasure to do so.
Yeah, Team Epping making a little bit of a mistake there. Both rocks being basically behind T-line gives Gushue a good opportunity to be sitting on the button with two center guards.
I think I said end number 7. That was my mistake. Sorry about that. Going hard, get this by. And they will squeak it by. Brendan Botcher with a great shot there. Brendan's had a couple of rough ones in this one, so I'm sure he's pretty happy to make that. Big end for, so we say this every game, 6th end, big end to score. Big end for both these teams to score. If Epping could score and get even 1 point, he'd be up minimum 4-2 going to 7. Good position, should have good spot coming home. Should have Hammer maybe tied up or similar coming home. Gushue, if he can flip this a little bit and steal one here.
Yeah, that would be a big momentum swing. And right now, advantage Team Gushue. Tanner being asked to make the double peel, going to make this thing very close, and does get rid of both reds. Leaves a shooter right there, but that's what they called. Well executed.
Yeah, very good. Have another look at it. Tanner Horgan.
Just the amount of leg drive. Obviously, he's thrown this shot a ton of times. Just hits it just off nose, gets both reds, and looks a little bit better for Team Epping.
Yeah, the good thing for Gushue is that he at least left a semi-guard up front, so he Watcher's guard now doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. He can just be a little bit on the other side of the center line.
Yeah, with how good Team Epping is at making those run backs, you have to be careful with the angles you leave. If this is staggered just a little bit, which it looks like it's going to be, Tanner Horgan will be able to hit this yellow just off nose and run it right back into the rocks on the button if it's made perfectly. Could move 3 or 4 stones here.
Tanner Horgan with the big weight once again. McMillan trying to curve it over, and he will get there. Gonna miss the back one. It's a big deal, really.
Yeah, missed opportunity there for sure. I mean, obviously it's not easy to make 20-foot double run backs, but that was the opportunity to maybe change the angles. They'll probably get 1 or 2 more chances, but the longer it takes, the harder the shots are going to be. Advantage Team Gushue in this 6th end.
So 3rd stones, halfway through this 5th end. 6th end. Jeez. Something doesn't want me to be in the 6th end here in this game. Trying to make it the 7th or the 5th. Mark Nichols delivering the guard here. I'd like this to curl a little bit more, I'm sure. Well done. So another peel for Epping. He will go after both reds. I think this time if he ever makes the double peel, then he probably rolls away much further, so it would be good for him. Jake Horgan this time. Gets one, misses the back one as well. Almost an identical shot to what his brother just had.
Yeah, actually just ended up being a little bit worse, leaving your yellow in pretty much as a center guard. No secret for Gushue. Keep throwing those one guards. Try not to line up an easy double run back is the main goal. Team Epping, John really going to want Jake to make his next one to have a chance in scoring this end.
Trying to leave this fairly high. You don't want to get any closer to the other red one than you have to.
Yeah, decision time for John. Do you make the yellow-red slash and bring it in, try to move the rocks off of the center line, or do you make this double peel? Looks like they're going to make the double peel.
Yeah, good question. You hit it right in the center, you're probably leaving your shooter right there, so it's not necessarily the best, but Jake Horgan might have been a little out on this one, but no, looks pretty good.
Like it to spin a little bit farther, and it does give that angle run an option, though it's about 20 feet.
Yeah, extremely long, but definitely there. Gushue heading down to throw what will be another guard. Nichols looking at that run. Recognizing probably can't do anything about it right now. I'm going pretty hard on this. Mark's going out to help a little bit.
Yeah, this needs to be over. It's going to be. Might have left a back weight, forward weight kick through the hole. Maybe not.
Pretty tough, I think. Just a quick catch up on the other games. We got Kevin Cooey ahead of 5-4 over Ryland Kleiter, playing 6 with Kleiter having hammer. The Jacobs game is over, beating Brent Pierce 8-1. And Sam Muibrooke is ahead of Charlie Thomas 6-2 in the 7th, Thomas with hammer. The loser of this game drops down into a C qualifier with an opponent yet to be decided.
Yeah, so this shot looking to corner freeze the red, I think. I mean, perfect. You could tap it an inch and be shot stone. That would be ideal.
Well, interesting result.
Yeah. Don't know if I love it or not.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I don't even know for sure if you like it. If you're Gushue, you're still shot. If you want to make a play on that, you got to be really careful, and you will probably set up a double on your own. Right now, John Epping could easily play a slash on that yellow and move your red one out far enough to be a non-factor. I think you might have to guard here.
I do think you have to guard. Thinking maybe you can get there with hack and make a double and roll under, but you're still only going to be sitting one. John Epping doesn't have any angle run back. Only shot to score right now is a super thin slash.
Yeah. So keep the guard fairly high so that there's nothing makes it that much more difficult. Well, a very, very big shot for a simple guard right at this point in time for Brad Gushue. Just cannot overcurl. Really can't undercurl either, but
yeah,
and overcurl.
No matter where you put this, John's probably running it in and trying to get rid of that red.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's why I think you got to be really high on this.
Yeah, higher the better for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the only option is running that red. John just seeing if he can run it into the red and spin it out and score a 2. You could also nose it and push it out the side for 2 as well. So they do have a couple of options. No, they're not fun options.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, if the yellow does clear the red, there's a possibility if you run that red one back that, it's remote probably, but possibility. You run it in there and he hits 7/8 of that yellow and doubles off your yellows in the back and gives up a 2. So he's basically running this back, hoping to make contact with the yellow stone. And if he makes contact with the yellow stone anywhere center or right of center, he will definitely score multiple points. Guard probably a little bit deeper than even Brad wanted it to be. On his way, John Epping. Final rock in the 6th end here.
Just off nose for 2.
Must be close. Must be close.
And he makes it. What a great shot.
2. Tremendous shot by John Epping here in end number 6. So look at it again. Sweepers didn't even have to do a whole lot. A little bit here at the end to try to get it over there, and sure enough, lovely shot. So John Epping will take a 5-2 lead into end number 7 here in our B qualifying game at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown, and we'll be back after the break.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hey, Ben, what's the...
So we're back here for end 7. Peel going up for Epping. Well, I guess that rock was touching the house, so I was trying to figure out how he was able to hit that. But we're going to have one last look at that John Epping's last shot in the last end.
Yeah, just a great team shot. Not much room for error. He knew he needed to hit it just off nose to pick that red off the button. Great line call from Jay Corrigan. Stuffs it right there and leaves both yellows on the button to score 2.
Yeah, tremendous shot. So Gushue with some heavy-duty work to do here now, down 3, playing 7.
Yeah, and looks like a couple of misses. At least one miss is that their one corner guard came into the rings and was able to peel it out.
Yeah, that's just easy, simple misses that you don't expect from a Gushue team for sure.
Also, the team Epping just playing really great curling. I can only think of two really bad misses to where it was a miss, not even just a miss of missed tolerances. So Team Epping playing well, just like they did in the Mike McEwen game this morning.
So Gushue going around the corner guard. One last time before it gets peeled away. Brennan Botcher.
Yeah, if you're a Gushue fan, you need Team Epping to have a 0.
Got to get it by this one.
Because they're going to need to. They want to score at least 2, keep their chances alive, but 3 or 4 is obviously what they really need.
Yeah, probably not going to happen now with just one single guard out there. Going to be pretty difficult to get more than 2. Might be difficult to get 2 yet, but you're right. 2's a must. And good peel for Tanner Horgan. The Epping team really hasn't missed any of the routine shots, and that by routine that with them, I mean down to the ones that they're picking the ones off that go behind corner guards and whatnot. They've made all of that kind of shots. They've only had, like you said, a couple of misses on shots where you have big shots for sure and key shots, but that's not many, Corner guard going back up for Gushue.
They've certainly been the better team so far this game, and that's why they have a 5-2 lead. Pretty simple strategy calls for John. They're going to be peeling until they get a chance at eliminating that red in the top 12 foot. I feel like Team Gushue's been playing with fire all game long. Though it was one of the harder shots John has had for multiple, he made it look easy. You knew they were going to blow the game up. Eventually, took him to the 6th end to take that 3-point lead.
Yeah. Mark Nichols.
Yep, no longer throwing the corner guard, looking to draw to the rock in the back of the house.
Nobody's going to get there.
In the top 8 foot, I think, was the call. And like you said, it's not going to get there. You never want to concede 2, but for Team Epping, they're really important to not leave a stagger on the center line, whatever they choose to do.
The 2 brothers, I don't know how old he is, but he doesn't look to be very old. He'll try to hit this one and just flop in front of his own.
He's 24 years old. Tanner being a year older than him. Or 2 years older than him. Can't remember. I should know, considering I played against them for most of my junior career, but I know that Tanner is a year younger than me, and I'm 27, so that makes the math pretty easy.
Yeah. So Brad's trying to get the wheel spin and trying to figure out how best to be able to still come up with 2 at the end of this end.
It's definitely decision time. There is a stagger that I could draw all the way to the back 12, though they're not looking at that right now. I think Mark Nichols just suggested it. If they're trying to bring at least 2 into play,
yeah,
they need to either draw to the back 12 foot, which is not an easy shot, or make a hit and freeze.
Yeah, looking at a little split off his own basically is the other option, and or not off his own, sorry, off the yellow at the right there. Just not a lot of rocks left, not a lot of shots to figure it out with.
I think Brad recognizing with no guards in play, it's going to be pretty tough to score 3. You basically need a 0 out of the Epping camp.
Yeah, yeah.
So trying to make it as hard as possible. You wick this yellow to behind the red in the top 8 and roll behind the yellow in the top 12. So you're basically playing a split, but you're playing a split on the opposing team's stone.
Yeah. So you protect your one a little bit. Maybe the one on the right, you might get to protect it a little bit with the one yellow on the back. And
yeah,
and this one goes in between the 2 yellows. And
it is how you bring 3 into play. Obviously a very difficult shot, but you're down 3. No shot will be easy.
No. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
goes through that hole.
Looking like a field goal. Yeah.
Holy cow. Wow. Certainly not what was expected. Let's see the replay of that.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit overthrown. I imagine they wanted back 8, back 12 weight, but gets in between the goal posts and right through the rings.
So Epping now will remove this red, the final Gushue stone that's in the house. Not getting any easier for the Gushue team.
Yeah, and again, this, like, obviously we can focus that Team Gushue maybe not at their best right now, but Team Epping has been pouring on the pressure almost every end. The 6th end was Team Gushue's best end, and they ended up giving up 2. So
yeah,
sometimes it just goes the other team's way. But Team Epping's been playing great.
Rolling hard, but it's what they want. Well, not even going to take their own out in that shot.
And basically left nothing for Brad to work with.
No, I don't see a lot. Probably at the end of the day, I don't know. He's probably going to have to freeze to the one at the top of the button.
You're not even going to be second shot, I don't think. That is the issue with the freeze.
Well, maybe you tap that one a little bit. Brad's looking at maybe trying to figure out a way. Do we run all this stuff and come home down 3 with the hammer? Get a blank in. Because if you come right around it, then yeah, I guess you could come right around it, I suppose. And then if you had to, you're going to need a miss out of John for starters. That might be tough to get, but you could run the high yellow into those yellows and make a double and bring it into play, but that's going to be tough. So I think he settled on a freeze here, and no, he's not going to be shot right now, but
it is the only shot, though I just don't see how they're going to sit second shot here.
No, I don't think they will. I think it'll be a matter if there's some way that on his next shot that he can manage to turn that into...
Make a quad, I guess.
Something, yeah, exactly, yeah. It's just maybe a little bit warm as well. Got to get over there.
Yeah. Don't hate the tap call if the line was a little bit better.
Yeah.
If that red stays a quarter buried, then Team Epping wouldn't be able to hit it. Now he can just throw peel and...
Yeah, I agree. The tap was okay. If he just gotten a little bit more curl there and created a little bit of a wall maybe behind it. So Epping will attempt to remove this stone. Not a difficult shot.
No mistake by John.
No. So Brad Gushue draw the button for 1 to go to end number 8, down 2 without the hammer.
Another draw to the button against a multiple. This is obviously for the game. Needs a piece of the button. Last rock here in the 7th.
I don't know if they're going to get that there.
No, sweeper's given up, and it's going to be handshakes.
So John Epping will pick up a bucket load here in number 7. And we will have handshakes all the way around. Sam, as you said a couple times, certainly a dominating performance by Team Epping in that game. The Gushue team just wasn't quite up to their normal standards. They've had a bit of a rocky season, I think, overall, but this was certainly not a game they'll be happy with. And they will drop down now, and I believe they'll face Sam Moeybrook in the C qualifier game. And we will encourage you to stay around, watch the other games that are remaining, and be sure to join us for the next draw and one more draw after that. I believe we have today. Where somewhere in there we'll feature the women's final.
Yep.
And the C qualifiers, and we'll say goodbye. So on behalf of Sam Steep and Connor Sims in production and Cailey on the cameras, we will say goodbye for now. I'm Jim Nix, signing off until later this evening from Swift Current, Saskatchewan, in the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.